Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today, finally, we are getting the EZAs for the 3 Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas. These really should have come out with the Resurrection of F Blues. I know on JP they came out in the second part of that celebration with LR Golden Frieza, but if they were going to delay Golden Frieza because of the differences with the JP schedule and the global schedule, they really should have included these guys when the actual Resurrection of F Blues came out, because they definitely are a good buff to their team in particular. And I feel like now maybe it's like too little too late, but I guess we will see. So I feel like the STR one might be the best one. We'll see as we do showcases for all 3. But we have him here ready to go, obviously full link level 10. I threw a couple of skill orbs on him, not great ones because I don't really have a ton of really good ones, and I obviously want to save the good ones that I do have for premium characters. But if we look at his super attack effect, he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage and lowers defense, and then he gets 130% attack and defense when performing a super, so you can't use him in slot 1 essentially. He gets 3 ki and an additional attack and defense 70%, and all allies' chance of performing a crit 7% and 30% defense when all allies attacking in the same turn are Realm of Gods category allies. So obviously his best team for this particular setup, right? You're going to want to run him on a Realm of Gods team. So running him with the Resurrection of F Blues. We haven't got the best rotation to start out because we do have Golden Frieza, who will provide a lot of good links, but obviously is not on the Realm of Gods category. So that means we are missing out on the 3 ki 70% attack and defense, and then the support as well, which includes himself. So he'd be getting 100% extra defense. So you can see here we're only at 100k, and that's with the Supreme Kai of Time on rotation as well. So I think what we probably want to do, I guess, yeah, like I say, we can't use him in slot 1, so we have to put Frieza in slot 1, and I guess we'll just get to see what he's like here when he's not on the full Realm of Gods rotation. I can certainly imagine not very impressive, and then we'll just have to fix up the rotations as the event goes on. So we'll see what we get out of him here on the first turn. 4.5 mil. I mean, when he's missing so much out of his passive by not having the full Realm of Gods rotation, I feel like 4.5 isn't that bad. And remember, his start of turn defense, I should really highlight again. Like, I saw his start of turn defense and was like, oh, only 100k. But like I said, he does get all of his attack and defense on super, right? So it's 130%, which means he's basically getting 130k defense on super, plus then the effect from his super attack effect. So he's going to be, what, around just under like 300k on that turn. So we need to get a full Realm of Gods rotation going. So I'm going to float off Gogeta here. I should probably put you guys in slot 1 just so you can get an extra super attack. I'm not really too worried about the gods stacking, so let's go ahead and grab these AGL orbs. Gogeta and Supreme Kai of Time and Golden Frieza are the 3 units on the team not getting the full 200% lead. Because remember, the Resurrection of F Blues have Realm of Gods and Mastered Evolution, and then give the extra 30% to Pure Saiyans. So we do want a full Realm of Gods rotation when we get the opportunity. The only problem is I need to get that set up sooner rather than later, really. I suppose what we should really do is wait until Gogeta comes back and then get him on rotation instead of Golden Frieza. Because I would do this if it wasn't for the fact that we get all of our defense on super. So 70k defense, putting him in slot 1 is not really the best way to go. Now, obviously, if we go ahead and exchange into Vegeta, we're going to be in a much better setup here. We get 6 out of the 7 links with the Resurrection of F Blues. I don't think their links change because they share 6 links both pre and post exchange into Vegeta. So I think what we should do, let's see, let me just double check. What's Vegeta going to be doing here? Can we run Vegeta in slot 1? I know he gets a lot of extra on super. he gets a lot of defense with rainbow orbs, and he does create them, so I guess we could probably just get away with putting him in slot 1. I want to get Frieza floated off, right, so that we can then get a full Realm of Gods rotation for Blue Vegeta. So, yeah, we can get all of our rainbow orbs here. That bumps Vegeta up to 300k at the start of the turn. As long as we don't get supered in slot 1, then Vegeta should be okay here. And then, yeah, we're now getting all of our links active. What is the other link that we're getting from you? So they share everything except for Saiyan Warrior Race. Where's my link tool thing here? Saiyan Warrior Race. So we're getting, is it Prodigies? Yeah, Prodigies from Frieza. Okay, that's not too bad actually, because Prodigies gives, what does Prodigies give him at level 10? 15% attack, so pretty decent. Alright, so let's see what we get here. This is going to be the last turn for him where he doesn't have a full Realm of Gods rotation. So, obviously we're going to see a much higher output from him on the next turn. 7.5 from the Resurrection of F Vegeta. I think mine is 2 dupes, and the friend that I bought is only 55%. So, pretty decent. Of course, we get hit with a super. At least we got our attack off first. Yeah, 3.6 with no support. Not very impressive, but the full Realm of Gods rotation is where it's at because of the not only the extra buff for himself, but the fact that he's giving all of that support as well. So let's see here. We should... I'm going to grab these, and then I'm going to exchange with you. And then perfect, we can grab those, and we can get some tech orbs for you as well. I was saying back when the Resurrection of F Blues came out, that with the roster of Realm of Gods being the way it was, the Supreme Kai of Time EZA, when the Hero Celebration finally came around, would be a really nice buff for this team. Although, one of the major issues is the fact that she basically doesn't share any links with any of these Resurrection of F Blue, Goku or Vegetas, but she is providing a lot of support, and because of the fact that she gets a 100% defense raise on super attack, she is decent enough defensively. She's not going to be tanking super attacks, you know, from the tougher red zone bosses, but she definitely can be a worthwhile asset to the team, just with all that support that she's providing. I mean, the 55% Vegeta here putting out basically 6.5 million thanks to all of that extra support from her. So now we're going to get our boy Goat Vegeta Blue on rotation. So even though he's only on a 170 lead, this guy is of course still insanely good. So, oh, look at this. Perfect. Okay, so we can go ahead and put you in slot 1 and not have to worry about damage, because Gogeta, yeah, doesn't have Prodigies. So now we're looking at 100, so now we got the full Realm of Gods rotation and no support. 140k defense. That is with him giving 30% support. So he's giving that to the rest of the rotation. So even Blue Gogeta, on his first appearance here, we've been running him on 200% teams in some of these other videos. He's already got 185k defense at the start of the turn here without getting any of his build-up. So that is definitely pretty good. I think if we do this, we'll connect all of those rainbow orbs at the side for Vegeta. Oh, and one of them dropped down out of the way. But we can do this. This will be good. And then we'll grab these for Blue Gogeta. So let's see. What do we get now? Yeah, 5.68. So 5.6 without support. He's also giving the rest of the team extra crit chance as well as defense, which is pretty good. Second super, 6 mil. So he had what, 100, was it 140k start of turn? So by getting 130% on super, that's what, an extra 180, something like that. So, and then his 30% from the super attack effect as well. So the rotation I do definitely really want to see is the one that we should be getting next, which is going to be with the Supreme Kai of Time in slot 3. And then I think he's going to be looking really, really good. So Gogeta with the guaranteed crits, and we should be able to finish off Oceanus this turn. Oh, sorry, next turn, and then we'll be on to is it Nova next? No, it's not, is it? It's I always forget the names of the less important ones. Alright, so I don't need to super with you, and then we'll grab the rainbows for you. So Vegeta should finish off Oceanus here. And then we can see what will be Vegeta's best turn. I think the problem with this team, Realm of Gods, from just looking at the roster when I put this together to do the showcase, is Realm of Gods needs some better slot 1 tanks. Because for this Resurrection of F Blues team, Golden Frieza is obviously a pretty decent option for running as the slot 1 tank. But for this Vegeta specifically, you need to have a full Realm of Gods rotation for him to get his full buffs, and so then obviously Golden Frieza kind of throws a wrench in the works for that. Now, one of the other blue Vegetas has Mastered Evolution rotation as his buff requirement, so in that sense, Golden Frieza is going to be perfectly fine to run on that setup, so I'll probably do that for potentially the next one that we showcase. So now we're looking at 170k. So, in fact, let me just get the calculator up here, because we got basically 170,000. So then he's going to get, what? We'll find out what 1% of that is. He's going to get plus 130% on Super. So he's going to get another 221k on Super. And then he gets the 30% buff from his super attack effect as well. So he's over 400k defense, which is pretty good. Can't get any rainbow orbs for the Vegeta now, though. His orb changing thing 100% should have been permanent, but it is what it is, I guess. What's his defense looking like here? He is going to get a decent amount of defense on super anyway, but sadly not getting the orbs is pretty bad for him. But what does STR Vegeta do on this turn? Yeah, 7 million. I mean, that's not terrible. 7,400,000 defense whilst also providing the rotation with 30% defense and 7% crit chance. So, in theory, you could just run him as a floating support unit on a Realm of Gods team, because he's giving that defensive buff whilst also giving them the extra crit chance. And like a 7 million attack stat, supported of course, but 7 million attack stat, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that when it comes to a sub EZA. I think that's pretty decent. So he's definitely good for this team as long as you're running the full Realm of Gods build, because again, if you're running like Golden Frieza as a slot 1 rotation on one of your turns, then you're obviously not going to want to be running him as a floating support, because every time he floats into this rotation, he's then not giving any support. So, a little bit of an awkward one there. I was going to say we could put Gogeta in slot 2 and get the Dokkan attack with him, but of course he's sealed. So I think we'll leave it there for this STR Vegeta. We saw his best turn, 7 million attack, just over 400k defense, providing defense and crit chance to the rotation. I would say that makes him a pretty worthwhile support unit at the very least for Realm of Gods, but you do have to make sure you are running a full Realm of Gods team. Gogeta, definitely a really good buff to this team. Supreme Kai of Time's Awakening, again, I think is a really good buff to this team. But we need some better slot 1 tanks, because Golden Frieza throws off the whole like Realm of Gods only setup. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you tried out all 3, let me know which one is your favourite. Obviously I'll have showcases for the AGL and the physical one coming up next, but I do think the STR one is going to be a useful unit on Realm of Gods, even if it is just as a support unit and not as a a main rotation like mainstay. But I think he could be pretty decent. Obviously he's not a slot 1 unit, so 140k at the start of the turn. If this guy supers in slot 1, we absolutely would be dead. But overall I think he is certainly pretty decent. And then of course he did. I should have just ended in the previous turn, right? Because of course now we die and the showcase ends with him getting killed. But he's not a slot 1 unit, so I thought it'd be cool to have the outro going while he was doing his super attack animation. But I guess he'll just die instead. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.